Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. Today we are going to learn most important MCQ on Directive Principles of State Policy. Your first question, the Directive Principles of State Policy are mentioned in which part of the Indian Constitution? Correct answer, Part 4. Directive principles are included in Part 4 of the Indian Constitution under Articles 36 to 51. They provide guidelines for the state to establish a welfare society, though they are non-justiciable. Next question. Directive principles of state policy in the Indian Constitution have been borrowed from the Constitution of which country? Correct answer, Ireland. Directive principles of state policy are inspired by the directive principles of social policy of the Irish Constitution, which in turn was influenced by the Spanish Constitution. Next question. B.R. Ambedkar described the directive principles as which feature of the Indian Constitution? Correct answer, Nobel feature. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar called Directive Principles of State Policy the noble feature of the Indian Constitution, as they direct the state to aim towards social and economic democracy. Next question. Fundamental rights and directive principles of state policy together are considered as correct answer, philosophy and soul of the Constitution. Fundamental rights and directive principles of state policy together constitute the philosophy and soul of the Constitution as they balance individual liberty and socio-economic justice. Fundamental rights protect citizens' individual freedoms, ensuring political democracy and equality, while DPSP guide the state in creating a welfare society by promoting social and economic justice, ensuring a harmonious interpretation of the Constitution. Next question. Who described DPSP as the conscience of the Constitution? Correct answer, Grenfell Austin. Constitutional expert Grenfell Austin referred to DPSP as the conscience of the Constitution because they represent the socio-economic goals India must achieve. Next question. What do the directive principles aims to achieve? Correct answer, welfare state. DPSP aim to transform India into a welfare state, ensuring social justice, economic equality, and the well-being of citizens. Next question. DPSP are considered as the sister part of which constitutional provision? Correct answer, fundamental rights. DPSP are often called the sister part of fundamental rights because together they guide India towards democracy that ensures both political freedom and socio-economic justice. Next question. Which of the following statement is true about DPSP? Correct answer. They are just instructions to the state. DPSP are non-justiciable but serve as instructions to the state to establish social and economic democracy. Next question. DPSP are considered compared to fundamental rights? Correct answer, subordinate. DPSP are subordinate to fundamental rights, meaning of there is a conflict, fundamental rights prevail. Next question. DPSP are classified into how many broad categories? Correct answer, 3. DPSP are classified into 3 categories: socialistic principles, Gandhian principles, liberal intellectual principles. Next question. Article 38 directs the state to promote which type of social order? Correct answer, social order based on welfare. Article 38 directs the state to promote the welfare of the people by securing social, economic and political justice. Next question. Article 39A provides correct answer, adequate means of livelihood. Article 39A directs the state to ensure adequate means of livelihood for all citizens. Article 39A of the Constitution of India ensures equal justice and free legal aid for all citizens, particularly the poor and weaker sections of society, by directing the state to promote justice based on equal opportunity and provide legal aid so that no one is denied justice due to economic or other disabilities. Next question. Article 39B aims at correct answer, distribution of material resources. Article 39B of the Indian Constitution is a directive principle of state policy that mandates the state to distribute the ownership and control of the community's material resources to ensure they serve the common good and prevent the concentration of wealth. Next question. Article 39C prevents correct answer, concentration of wealth. Article 39C prevents concentration of wealth and resources in a few hands to avoid exploitation. Next question. Article 39D provides for correct answer, equal pay for equal work. Article 39D directs the state to ensure equal pay for equal work for both men and women. Next question. Article 39E focuses on the protection of correct answer, health of workers. Article 39E directs the state to ensure the health and strength of workers and to prevent abuse of children and youth. Next question. Which article directs the state to organize village panchayats? Correct answer, Article 40. Article 40 directs the state to organize village panchayats and give them powers to function as unit of self-government. Next question. Article 41 directs the state to provide correct answer, right to work, education and public assistance. Article 41 provides that the state shall make provisions for securing the right to work, education and assistance in cases of unemployment, old age, sickness and disablement. Next question. Article 42 directs the state to ensure correct answer, human conditions of work and maternity relief. Article 42 directs the state to secure justice and human conditions of work and also provide maternity relief to women. Next question. Article 43 directs the state to promote correct answer, quotas industries. Article 43 asks the state to promote quotas industries on an individual or cooperative basis, especially in rural areas. Next question. Article 44 is related to which of the following? Correct answer, Uniform Civil Code. Article 44 directs the state to ensure a uniform civil code for all citizens to promote national integration. Next question. Free and compulsory education for children up to the age of 14 years was originally provided under which article of DPSP? Correct answer, Article 45. Article 45 originally provided for free and compulsory education for children up to 14 years. Later, it was modified and Article 21A was inserted by the 86th Constitutional Amendment Act 2002, making education a fundamental right. Next question. Article 46 directs the state to promote the educational and economic interest of correct answer, backward classes, SCs and STs. Article 46 directs the state to promote educational and economic interest of SCs, STs and other weaker sections and protect them from exploitation. Next question. Which article directs the state to prohibit intoxicating drinks and drugs? Correct answer, Article 47. Article 47 directs the state to prohibit the consumption of intoxicating drugs and drinks except for medicinal purposes. Next question. Article 48 directs the state to prohibit the slaughter of, correct answer, cows, calves and mild cattle. Article 48 directs the state to take steps to prohibit the slaughter of cows, calves and mild and draught cattle and improve their breeds. Next question. Article 49 relates to the protection of, correct answer, monuments and historical sites. Article 49 directs the state to protect monuments and places of artistic or historical interest from destruction and misuse. Next question. Which article separates the judiciary from the executive? Correct answer, Article 50. Article 50 ensures the separation of the judiciary from the executive in the public services of the state to maintain judicial independence. Next question. Article 51 directs the state to promote, correct answer, international peace and security. Article 51 directs the state to promote international peace and security, respect international law, and encourage settlement of disputes by arbitration. Next question. Which article was added by the 97 Constitutional Amendment Act 2011 to promote cooperative societies? Correct answer, Article 43B. Article 43B of the Indian Constitution, a directive principles of state policy inserted by the 97 Constitutional Amendment Act 2011, directs the state to promote the voluntary formation, autonomous functioning, democratic control and professional management of cooperative societies. Next question. The 44th Constitutional Amendment Act 1978 added which directive principle? Correct answer, minimize inequalities. The 44th Constitutional Amendment Act 1978 added Article 38 to directing the state to strive to minimize inequality in income, status and opportunities. Next question. The 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1976 added Article 39A to provide, correct answer, free legal aid and justice on the basis of equal opportunity. The Article 39A added by the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1976 directs the state to provide free legal aid to ensure equal justice for all. Next question. The 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act added Article 39F, which provides, correct answer, protection of childhood and youth against exploitation. Next question. The 42nd Amendment Act 1976 added Article 43A to provide, correct answer, participation of workers in management of industries. Next question. Which article added by the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act directs the state to protect and improve environment? Correct answer, Article 48A. Article 48A added by the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1976 directs the state to protect and improve the environment and safeguard forest and wildlife. Next question. Directive principles outside Part 4, Article 350A provides for, correct answer, primary education in mother tongue to minorities. Article 350A directs the state to provide facilities for instruction in the mother tongue at the primary stage of education to children of linguistic minorities. Next question. Directive principles outside Part 4, Article 351 deals with, correct answer, promotion of Hindi language. Article 351 places a duty on the Union to promote the spirit of Hindi language and enrich it as a means of expression for Indian culture. Your last question, Directive Principles outside Part 4, which article ensures the appointment of SCs and STs in Union and State Services? Correct answer, Article 335. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, kindly like, share and subscribe to our channel.